I rated my sandpaper hoard, so I got 80 grit, which I think I'm going to start with. I have this, let's see, I think this box is, that's 40 grit, that's too coarse, that's 80 grit, this is 80, this is 120, these are 80 for the DA, these just are like peel and stick. These are peel and stick. I don't know how many of these I got. These are 80 grit. I got a ton of these. These are 40 grit. I don't know if I don't think I'm going to need anything that coarse for this job. There's very little body filler here. Usually I use the coarser stuff if I really want to rip through some filler, but very little filler on those fenders, and most of it's probably 90% of what you see there is going to get sanded off. And car looks a little different without a hood on the roof. I got my air file and my hand my hand file and my air file out so I can start sanding Bondo, and I got to find my hard block to do the final sanding. I'm just going to get it down close with this tool, and then I'll go to town with the hand one with some 150, and then I'll probably get the wooden block with some 150. I'm just going to do a quick little video here of doing this. I don't want to get sanding dust in my camera because it's going to stir up dust, but at least the air compressor cycles with my air file. It doesn't run continuous, but I'm just going to give this a rough sand out with this, and then I'll go to do it by hand. Very little pressure is needed. You don't want to, get too heavy duty with the pressure. Okay, you get the picture. I don't want to get dust in my camera. Trying not to get dust in my camera, but that's sanded out to where I don't feel anything there anymore. And like I say, I'll blow some red oxide really wet on there and see how it looks and block it. That's the one ding. That's the other one. You can see the primer completely through the filler, so it's not very thick. That was where those 4 little cart dings, shopping carts ding were. That's fixed. This, just a tiny wee few little pits. Spot putty would probably fix it, but I'll probably just smear a film on there, a filler, because spot putty is thick primer. Less primer the better. A little bit of low right there. And the rest of it feels pretty good. A little more sanding right in here. That's still a little high right there. And the rest of it feels pretty good, but I'll put a little bit of filler right in there. That spot just there is still low, so we'll get that. This fender is perfect. This, don't feel anything there, don't feel anything here. There's a ding there and a ding there, and you can see because if you look, you can see the primer through the filler except for there and there. And this one everywhere except for there. So that's where the ding was, that's where the ding was, that's where the ding was. That repaired where that gouge was in the fender. And that was it for this fender. So this fender is basically, I'm ready to sand the edges and the back side. And that's ready for paint. This one I'm going to add a little filler there and there and let it harden overnight. And I'm going to start taking the trim off the hood so I can strip it, but I'll give you a shot of myself so you can see what sanding does. Well, you can kind of see what the air hose does to, or sanding, I mean, sanding does to a person. Like I say, I'll go out with the air hose with the blowgun and just blow myself all this dust off outdoors. I'm not going to clean any of this dust up until I'm done sanding, and then I'll back the truck and the car out and clean the garage up. But I gotta sand all the edges of both fenders and the back side of both the fenders. I'm gonna add just a little bit of filler to this fender, there and there, and other than some sanding, which I might work on that yet today, the sanding behind and in these edges. And I think I will. I'll sand on that while I'm waiting on the stripper to work on the hood. So I'm going to get the trim off the hood, get some stripper on it. First I'm going to put a little filler on there, those two spots. I'm going to start getting the trim off the hood and stripping it. And then I'll start sanding the edges and the back side. Got all the trim off and some stripper on there, and get this puppy cleaned off. This looks like it's going to be a strip and paint, and the underside needs a good cleaning and sanding out from all the crud from the engine. But I think this fender, other than, like I say, the edges, it's ready to shoot. I'm going to work on these now. I sanded most of the edges out. All that edge is nicely sanded. You see this, all this, when the hood's up. And I tried to get in between here and, you know, and all in here. I gotta try and get it right in there still. And this edge, I gotta do the wheel well lip and the inside of the fender, but I just wanted to, you know, the inside of the fender is in really good shape. I'll show you. So this is not rust. This is red oxide primer. So you can just do this to sand it out. I'm going to paint the inside of this fender, and that's about the extent of how I'm going to sand that red oxide primer out. So there isn't really a lot of sanding involved on the inside of the fender. You can see some runs from the factory. But yeah, it's going to clean up and look like brand new, better than new. This is going to be painted better than new, so you know it's going to last. But that is not rust. It's 100% primer. There's a little surface rust right there, but that sands off, and I can get, look at that, I can get right down to the metal. How quick I can, does that show up? How quick that comes down to the metal. Same up here. That's metal right there. So that all sands up real easy. The time-consuming part is the edges for the folds. I want everything from the outer body, including these folds, to be completely sanded out perfect, like this edge here, without a speck of paint on it, because this is all stuff you see, and you know, I know there's some moulding on here, and there's inner wheel well comes to here, and you don't really see it, but if this starts to bubble because it's not cleaned up right, it'll just telegraph around and out onto the fender. So everything has to be clean to the, I don't want any problems. And this will be fine, like I say, just sanded out and painted body color. I think it'll look really nice when the hood's open, if you can see in here, and this is body color. But I just kind of wanted to show, you know, it's in really remarkably good shape, and it won't take much to get this sanded out. That's zinc chromate primer from when I was doing the work on the car battery tray before I took the fenders off. But yeah, this is gonna sand out and paint up really, really nice. Alright, I'm gonna peel the plastic off the hood and start scraping the paint off of it. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go, is with plastic. Yeah, nice. Alright, I'm gonna finish stripping this, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. I'm gonna probably not have my camera out here much while I'm sanding. It's just getting loaded with dust, and I don't want to ruin it. I got most of the paint off the hood with the paint stripper. That's all bare metal. I might put a second coat on it. I don't know, we'll see. It sands off really super easy. I might get one of those discs that 805 Road King had that he was using on his tailgate of his pickup. I think that looks like it'll take that off like lickety split. But the DA takes it off lickety split. And it's all solid. The paint stripper didn't quite get here. But, well, the plastic wasn't tight there. Wherever the plastic doesn't hold the down on it, it doesn't work. The paint stripper just doesn't work. If you put the plastic over it and secure it down, it works great. All the outer body work on that fender's done, 100%. I just got to sand edges in the inner side, and I'll probably work on that in the next couple days. This one I've sanded most of the edges. I got to resand some filler I added there and there, and I got to sand the the inner side, and then this fender is ready to prime and paint the inside. That one will probably be with a couple hours of work, and then the hood I'll flip over after I get this side all done and clean that up, and then maybe I'll paint the undersides of everything sometime this week. I think that's going to be it for this video. I think I'm going to call it a day. Got a fair amount done today. I'm happy with the way things are moving along. If you like my video, hit the like button. If you want to see this cool old Galaxie moving down the road, cruising with its top down, subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.